Hey guys, my name is Miranda and welcome back to my universe. So today's video is actually one of my favorite videos ever to film. I absolutely love this tag so much, and that is the mid-year book freakout tag. I have filmed this video every single year since I have made my YouTube channel, and I just think it's so much fun to reflect and talk to you guys about all the books that I have read so far this year. All right, question one to start this video off with a bang. Not sponsored. What is my favorite book so far in 2020? I don't really talk about this book on my channel, like at all, which actually really surprises me and kind of makes me sad because I think this book deserves so much more recognition. I actually think it might be one of my favorite books I've ever read in my life, and that is The Institute by Stephen King. It follows around these children who actually have telekinetic abilities, and they were kidnapped from their families were killed, and they are hauled off to the Institute where they are tested on. This book just completely boggled my mind, and there are a lot of really heavy themes that this follows. I mean, besides the torture, there's also a lot of government and politics, and who do you really trust versus who you think you should trust. And on top of all of it, it has a very childlike outlook because one of our main characters is a child, Luke. I think he's either 12 or 13. And Stephen King, he actually wrote this book based off of real statistics on how many children go missing around the world. I just think Stephen King spent a lot of time on this book, and it's my favorite book that he's written that I have read so far. I've only read like 6 of his books, but this one is definitely my favorite. I definitely recommend. It's not super scary, it's more on the thriller side, but please read this book. Question number 2 is the best sequel I have read so far in 2020. And that would actually be The Wicked King by Holly Black. First of all, I didn't think I was going to enjoy this series at all. I actually was expecting to hate it, and I ended up absolutely loving it, and the second book is my favorite in the series. So there's that. If you like fairies, fantasy, romance, this is a great young adult series for you. Question number 3 is newest release you want to read, and this would be Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. I know. I haven't read it yet. I was so excited to get this book at my doorstep, and then when it actually showed up, it's just been sitting on my shelf, and I feel so bad, but I think the main reason why I haven't read it is because I have been in a pretty bad reading slump for the past 2 months, so I'm hoping once I break out of this, I will be able to pick this up. It's just a very thick book. Maybe this would actually break me out of my reading slump. I should think of it that way, and I should just pick this up and read it. Why not? Question number 4 is my most anticipated release for the second half of 2020, and that is going to be Instant Karma by Marissa Meyer. Marissa Meyer is one of my favorite authors ever. She usually writes young adult fantasy, but this is actually a contemporary book, and I'm super hyped for it. I am definitely going to buy it, definitely going to read it. I'm just so excited. I can't wait to see how she writes a contemporary book. It's coming out in November, and I'm very excited. Question number 5 is my biggest disappointment, and this one is going to Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I just expected to like this book so much that when I didn't, I was so upset. The writing style really wasn't for me, and the book format, I mean, it's cool and all, but like, I don't know. I just overall was really upset with this story. Question number 6 is my biggest surprise, and this is also a Stephen King book, and that is Under the Dome. This is such a hefty book, and I have heard such mixed reviews about it. Now, I didn't give this book 5 stars. This book definitely wasn't the best Stephen King book I've read, but it is so diverse, and it's so dense, and it's so terrifying. It's basically about this small town that one day gets secluded off from the rest of the world by this invisible dome that cuts off basically everything. It took me off guard with how much I did enjoy it, and because of that, I applaud this book. and I do recommend it for Stephen King fans. Question number 7 is my newest favorite author, and for this one, I'm probably gonna go with Stephanie Garber. She wrote the Caraval series, and I recently finished this series, and so that is why I'm saying she is my newest favorite author. I have discovered a lot of authors so far this year, but a lot of them didn't really vibe with me. But I absolutely loved Caraval, and I love her writing style so much. It's so whimsical, so magical, so immersive. So yeah, Stephanie Garber, thank you so much. Question number 8, my favorite question out of this entire tag, is my newest fictional crush. Prince Carden. Can we just like talk about him? I love him so much. He is so mysterious and very broody, but at the same time he's so freaking funny, and he's super romantic also, and he just kind of jumps out at you when you don't expect him to, and I love him so much. He's so cool. Definitely not like the guys I usually like in real life, but this is the book world, okay? So here we are. Question number 9 is newest favorite character. Now, of course, nobody can beat Reepicheep from Chronicles of Narnia. Nobody. But this dude comes very close, and that is Elle from Death Note. What a freaking guy. He is one of those characters that I literally will go about my day and I will think about him. Like, random things will make me think about him, and that is something that has never happened with any other character. I love Reepicheep, but like, I don't think about him randomly during the day. But Elle, he has so many odd things about him. So many. And it makes him so unique that when people do things, it just reminds me of Elle. Anyway, I love him so much. I want to be his best friend. Anyways, moving on. Question number 10 is a book that made you cry, and this is one that I do own, but one of my best friends is reading it right now, and that is 19 Minutes by Jodi Picoult. This book is so heavy, and it deals with so much. It actually discusses a lot about our justice system and judgment, and who has the authority to judge who based on what. As my best friend says, this book aged like wine. The themes in this story are definitely prevalent today. This story follows around this school shooting, so that's why the justice system is so immersed, and it's such an integral part of this book and this story. I'm actually planning on doing a book review once my best friend finishes it, so we can review it together and share our own thoughts about it. So yeah, stay tuned for that, but I very much recommend this book. All right, question number 11, a book that made you happy, and I have to talk about a series. Legend by Marie Lu. I just think I loved this story so much because I have been missing dystopian books for the past few years of my life. I love young adult dystopian, but I feel like nowadays I have to be in a specific mood for it, and I read this story at the perfect time. This series, I finished it in like a week, I'm pretty sure, and I absolutely loved it. It was super immersive. The characters, I fell in love with the characters, okay? This story just made me so happy overall. It gave me all of those like young adult hero versus corrupt government kind of vibes that I have been missing for a while. Highly recommend this one as well. Question number 12, most beautiful books I have received, obtained, bought, gotten so far in 2020. So I'm gonna talk about 3. 2 of them I actually bought at thrift stores. So this first one is We the Drowned by Karsten Jensen, and I think this cover is so beautiful. I don't know, I just really love it. Then we have this 2-book edition of A Tale of Two Cities and Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. I also got this book at a thrift store, and I just, it's so beautiful. The things you can buy with $3, you guys, I'm just saying. Then I actually want to talk about There Will Come a Darkness by Katie Rose Poole, because like, This is beautiful. And the 13th question, which is the last one, is what books am I excited to read for the rest of this year? There are so many of them just because I have been in a reading slump, so I haven't been reading as much as I would like to. Definitely the Throne of Glass series. So many of my friends have been completely raving about it, and I haven't read it yet, so I have to just man up and get around to reading that series. I also want to read A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. And funny, this is kind of funny but kind of sad at the same time. Last year's mid-year book freakout tag, I also mentioned A Darker Shade of Magic. And so an entire year has gone by and I still haven't read it. I just need to do it, you know? I just need to go and read it. I just need to. All right, and with all that being said, that was my mid-year book freakout tag. I hope you all enjoyed. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, please leave them down below so we can chit chat about them. I love you guys so much. Please be safe, make good choices, and I will see you next time. Bye.